Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going, GR Dad?
Pretty good.
Excellent, excellent.
Yep.
We are pre-recording this podcast because I'm going to Europe for work. And so we're going to record it a few days before we release it.
So it won't have the most, up-to-date news in it, unlike usually.
I mean, sometimes we're just like, oh, we just forgot to podcast for a week.
Breaking news.
Mhm. You like just making that sound.
We've put a man on the moon. That's it. That was guaranteed the latest of the news.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
We're definitely doing this no rules, and I think it's going to be a short
Wait, no rules?
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you want to do German word?
We gotta do dog updates.
Yes. We also have to do administrative corner.
Yeah, okay, well then it sounds like it's getting pretty rulesy.
I am declaring it no rules.
Oh, you declared it. I thought
Yeah.
you were asking a question.
No,
Oh, if it's been declared no rules by you, then I have nothing left to say.
that's correct.
I'm just going to play along. Yay, no rules.
Woo!
Woo!
For administrative corner, subscribers.
I love Administrative Corner.
There we go.
So slow.
Patreon subscribers and also super followers or whatever they're called on Twitter now have been following along for like over a year with our across the street neighbor updates.
Yes.
We are doing regular bonus pods about that drama. And if you're not a subscriber, you probably don't have the latest, which is she passed away in September. She did finally get a guardian and went to the hospital and was in a rehab facility, and she got COVID and passed away in September. And it's all just like a very sad story, but also, like a little easier to look into all of this stuff about her that she said now that we're not stressed about like trying to make sure she doesn't die across the street because she didn't have any power or water or anything.
Yeah, before it was the issue was trying to keep her alive and help her as much as possible. Now there's a little bit of distance from it.
Yeah. So I had mentioned to 2 times Pulitzer Prize winning journalist Gwen Filosa, who you all should be following on the socials, Gwen Filosa Media. She is like an independent Keys journalist now. She's great. And I was like, Gwen, like there was this lady across the street and, she was like living in this condemned house with no power or water, and she would like spy on us all the time, and she's kind of crazy, but also like she did all of this like kind of amazing stuff before, and it's a very kind of key story, and we should like do a project about it. And she's like, I'm in. So we're doing a podcast series about it. If you were a fan of Murders in Paradise, Slater's Mysteries in Paradise, this is kind of like me and Gwen's version of that. It's just about Michelle, our across the street neighbor. It's going to be probably 3 or 4 episodes. We've actually recorded the first one, and we might drop a few little bits in there. We're still doing like research and reporting and pulling records and talking to people. And so we have a trailer out. I'm going to put it at the end of this episode, and you can go on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever your podcasts are. The name of the podcast is Unclaimed, and you'll see a picture of her house, and you'll see a little description of it. And we'll drop the first episode in a couple weeks, and it's a wild story.
This is so professional, Jen. You're doing such a professional job of promoting a different podcast on this one. It's very professional.
I'm a professional.
I am amazed. I'm not surprised. I'm just pleased.
So anyway, Unclaimed is the name of the podcast. And you can hear me talking for like a minute and a half in the little trailer. Like I said, I'll stick it at the end of this episode. But if you go subscribe, you'll see the trailer is up there. So you can follow it when we get the actual
See,
info.
Gwen's angling for a 3rd Pulitzer Prize. Or is it Pulitzer? Pulitzer. Excellent.
I don't know if they have a podcast category for Pulitzer Prizes.
Mm-hmm. They should Fine. Nobel Prize then.
I definitely don't have a
Nobel.
Nobel Prize for
Nobel.
podcasts. No.
Let me start lobbying here.
But I have already done a photo essay, which is also not going to win a Pulitzer Prize.
I'm going to buy all their merch if they give you the Nobel.
Oh my God, we do need to make some merch for the podcast.
I'm going to buy it all.
You know what? I'll just give you a T-shirt. How about that?
Too late. I already bought it. I already reserved it.
It doesn't even
I
exist
pre-ordered
yet.
it
Oh my
on
God.
spec.
Oh my
I did.
God.
I pre-ordered it.
So anyway, that's our new little project. So
I did already pre-subscribe to the podcast.
Oh, did you? That's great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It didn't cost anything though, so I don't
No,
know
it's
how.
it's a free podcast.
How am I going to make myself rich by subscribing for free?
Well, maybe we'll get sponsors and we'll do like mattress ads in the middle.
I just sent them $5.
No,
Whoever, I don't know where it went.
No, that's not a thing.
Maybe I got ripped off.
All right, so there you go. That's administrative corner. Also
what a good one.
Also in administrative corner. Thank you to everyone who was a supporter on Patreon or a Twitter subscriber this year, and everybody who donated to the foundation. We sent y'all some Christmas cards, holiday cards actually. If they'll probably get to you by Christmas if you're in the United States. They definitely won't if you're in foreign, but they're coming.
That's why we say holiday. I mean, it might be Chinese New Year. It could be Gregorian Christmas.
Your birthday.
It could be Three Kings Day.
Three Kings Day, a.k.a. Ingo's birthday,
But it
January
could also
6th.
be Pentecost or Maria Ascension or, there's a lot of holidays.
Yeah, it'll be near one of them. They're coming.
Pentecost.
I took care of all that today, so thanks everybody.
Woo!
You ready for dog updates?
So professional, Jen. You're just so professional.
I'm like busy packing for this trip, which is like a 12-day trip, and I was really pleased that I got that done today.
I can't imagine packing for 12 days.
In a carry-on.
Yeah, I cannot. I mean, the amount of shoes I'd need alone would be another bag.
I've packed 0 shoes.
I'd pack 12 pairs of shoes.
The only shoes are the ones I'm wearing.
And then I'd probably only wear one, but I would have all the options.
Yep.
Every day I'd have the options.
Yep. This is a way that we're different.
And here I get to stay here with all my shoes.
I am going to report back on this trip once it's done for everybody.
Especially shoe consumption, please.
I'm only wearing this. The only shoes I have are the ones I'm going to wear.
That's stressing me out. Are you sure you don't want to wear bring some flip flops or something? Because that's crazy.
I
to
do
me.
sometimes bring flip flops, but my packing space is very limited. So
how could you not have that many shoes?
it's gonna be cold. I'm not
bring more shoes.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Dog updates.
Shoeless Jen.
I'm wearing a pair. Dog updates. So we posted last week that Brody had a biopsy. He had melanoma, you might remember, and they removed one of his teeth and they removed the cancer, and he had a very hard time healing from that surgery. And like 2 weeks ago, he came off the elevator and I looked and he had this big black growth behind one of his canines. And I was like, that totally looks like melanoma. And I brought him to the vet and they're like, it totally looks like melanoma. And I was like, but he's 14 and also like he sucks at having surgery. And they're like, well, let's just do a little biopsy. So they just kind of sedated him, did a biopsy, and you saw him on the snaps, like getting back from that.
And we were worried. I gave him extra snacks. I was like, oh, you probably have cancer. I'm going to give you extra snacks.
Yeah, I figured he was probably going to die in a couple months. And, he's had a good run. But it turns out we got the biopsy results back and he just has bad gingivitis.
He needs to floss a lot more than he's flossing.
So we still need to talk to the vet about what we're going to do about this. We are not going to do surgery or like a full-ass dental unless we absolutely have to, because he had such a hard time recovering, even just from the sedation.
What do you mean by full-ass dental? Like pull the tooth or something? No.
I mean, with a full dental, like you get full anesthesia and it's a couple hours underneath.
That's like cleaning and stuff.
Cleaning. I mean, they'll pull any teeth that have them.
Might be what he needs, right?
Yeah, but like he's probably not going to die from the gingivitis. Like it's not infected.
Oh, that's true. It was just looked bad. It didn't. He doesn't have actually symptoms. He's still eating fine. He's not like. Yeah. We do. Maybe we just have to brush his teeth. You can do that. One can do that.
It might put him in it. Who knows? We got to talk to her about it. So anyway, it's not cancer. So that's awesome.
It's great. And he did, since they only used light anesthesia for the biopsy, he did come out of it after a day, and he's been his usual self, which is great.
Right now he's panting and angling for a third dinner.
His usual self. We didn't say he's completely without friction.
Oh, yeah.
He's just an old, hungry man.
He is. And that's kind of it for dog updates.
Well, I just had
Oh, yeah.
Remy in.
Yep.
And he got all his blood taken. Not all his blood taken.
Just his annual checkup.
His annual checkup to see how we're managing the diabetes and whether his thyroid is different. Because he's lost a little bit of weight. He's at 75 pounds now.
He was at 80 before.
Yeah. We're feeding him kind of the same. Although maybe he's just more active. Who knows? That's a lot of active.
Yeah.
I wish I could drop 4 pounds and just freaking eating dog food. I'd eat dog food.
I mean, you could eat dog food.
I mean, I'd want canned, though. I mean, I don't want the...
Do you want me to just make you some stew and you can have it in the fridge and just like scoop yourself out like 2 scoops of stew for every meal?
I mean... I don't know that it's a step down from meals ready to eat.
I was going to say, you do eat, like Ingo, you guys. Ingo.
This may be too much information, Jen.
Ingo's like, I bought some MREs. These are like the military meals. Like, it's just a bag.
It's called Meal Ready to Eat.
MRE.
MRE.
And everyone in the military will know what they are. Or people who've been in disaster situations.
I know, but we have people overseas too, so they may not know. That's all.
Yes, no, it's good to say. And you can buy these like military meals that like have a shelf life of 20 years.
That's what I like about it.
And you don't have to heat them up or anything. You just cut the bag open. And Ingo was like, I bought some MREs. And I was like, good for you, man. He's like, you want some? I got some vegetarian ones. I'm like, it's lovely that you thought of me. And no, thank you. I would not.
She's basically running. I'm like chasing her around the house with this squishy bag going, here, try it. It's spaghetti and tomato sauce.
No.
Try it. It's vegetarian. It's beans and rice. Here you go. Look, try it.
He brings these, like we have a little office that we rent one island up. And when he goes to the office, I'm like, did you eat anything today? He says, I got MREs at the office.
I had chili and
oh my God, it's so
queso.
gross.
Chili with meat. It's like I'm just testing it for hurricane scenarios. I'm just testing this as an option. Since they don't go bad, it's kind of attractive.
Is it just the squishy bag or does it have like the tiny Tabasco in it?
It has everything. I mean, it depends.
The crackers, the tiny Tabasco.
Yeah. The like pack of coffee, the heating pad, the like heating up thing that's like chemical.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a party in the USA. I haven't used like a lot of the stuff. I haven't used. I'm a little worried. I'm a little nervous about using the little squeeze of tobacco. I mean, I don't actually want to damage my intestines more.
The tiny Tabasco is cute.
It may be. It might be too much, though. It might be too much. I don't know. It's pretty. It's a little zippy already. I mean, the flavor is not terrible, for what it is. And I like that it's like astronaut food. You can just squeeze it into your mouth.
Oh, it's so gross.
No fork needed. I love the efficiency. If I could eat like that in restaurants, I would. But they don't let me.
We have Giordad is like a well-trained, sophisticated man with one hole around soup.
I mean, this is the hole you can think of right now. I have many holes, chinks in my armor, holes in my cheese. There's quite a few folks' paws I have.
The soup is the big one, I think. Yeah. And Ingo just didn't learn that you can't pick the bowl up and drink out of it.
I just get so impatient with the stupid spoon.
So, like, we'll be at nice restaurants, and he'll start picking the bowl up, and I have to be like, put it back on the table. You cannot pick the bowl. I think
it's considered acceptable in Japan.
No.
I think it's
We're
fine.
not in Japan. Oh, my God. You guys, it's so embarrassing. And it's like, I would come meet you at the office.
I only do it with bowls, not with plates. I mean, if it's like a long rim, I don't pick it up and try to drink it down the rim.
I would like to offer as counter evidence. We were at Little Palm Island 2 weeks ago, very fancy dining room, and we both got that tomato and roasted red pepper bisque, which had a big wide rim on the low bowl, and you picked that thing up.
Well, I was
And
using the spoon though. I was just
he
trying
picked it up off the table, and I
I-
was like, put it back on.
It's just I picked most of it up, and I was using gravity to concentrate all the
Not-
soup in one corner.
No, that is unacceptable.
It's so nitpicky.
It is.
Otherwise, it's so piddly. Trying
Listen.
to chase a little drop of soup around. Oh, it's terrible.
Look, I mean, we're not in a survival situation. All kind of rules and manners are sort of arbitrary, but like you don't pick the bowl up, man. The bowl stays on the table. Where we've had this at other restaurants where you have picked the bowl up
Yeah,
and drink.
Panera or some place where they give you an
No.
actual bowl.
No,
Not a plate.
It would be a plate where there was a bowl,
bowl,
and you're
bowl,
just like,
not
I'm
a
gonna pick it up
plate.
and drank out of it.
Yeah,
And I'm like, what are you doing?
like finishing the
Yeah.
soup fast.
Mm.
Fast soup finishing.
Oh my god.
I'm sure it was not a fancy place. Probably freaking chili at Taco Bell or something.
But like you get him when I would come to the World Bank and meet you for lunch, they have a great cafeteria at the World Bank, and you would get soup, and then it was in the kind of like little cardboard soup cups. We'd go back to your office sometimes, and you would just like squish one end of that so it had a little like spout, and then you just drink that thing. You pour it into your mouth. No spoon at all.
Tasty and efficient. I mean, I'm maximizing my soup experience, Jen. I don't know why you're standing in the way of my maximizing my experience with your societal rules.
When we're at home, you are allowed to eat soup however you want.
I try to not freak you out, so I'm happy to eat it with happy. I get impatient. Spoons, so inefficient. I don't know why we haven't developed something better yet. Spoons. It's only been thousands of years for spoons, but still, it seems like there could be work done.
What's that German saying about the spoon?
If you give up your spoon, it means you're dead.
Yeah.
Ich hat seinen Löffel abgegeben.
Löffel abgegeben. Yeah. Okay. That's it for dog updates.
Wait, we got Remy. We got the nuggets are fine. Feta is fine.
That is just full on assaulting Zola right now.
Guac is
He's a good boy.
the best of the dogs right now.
He's the best.
He doesn't just stand there and scream like Remy.
Remy does. Feta
Yeah.
does. Zola does.
Guago man. That's why
Nugget
you
kinda
get
does.
rewarded with drives around and French fries
Yeah, you get to come on the French fry runs.
Mhm.
No
And-
complaints.
and the CVS runs.
Yeah, he came to CVS with me today, and they give him a little bone.
Did you see a chicken?
No chickens today.
I guess that's not CVS. That's Taco Bell.
And McDonald's has the chickens.
That's true.
He didn't see one today, though.
Guaco man. He is reliable.
All right. That's it for dog updates.
Yep.
Now, it is a no rules podcast, but you are welcome to do a German word of the week if you'd if you'd like to. Fetta's got some major zoomies. I better hold the podcast.
Considering
box.
how small she is, those are big zoomies.
She's like trying it on the tile, and she's doing like the cartoon thing where she's like trying to get the back legs going, but they're like sliding on the floor.
And like a cartoon, sometimes she gets a runner under there, and
Yeah.
the runner just rolls up. She stays in place, and she's just kicking back on the runner.
Yeah,
And it's all folding up like a accordion.
I think we're gonna need some walkies tonight.
I think we're going to need some fluoxetine.
Oh my god. Okay.
I do have a story apropos
okay.
of German stories, but also, an homage to the Taste of the Keys.
Okay.
They have found what I'm calling square groupers of cocaine off the north coast of Germany now.
Okay.
Hundreds of kilos of cocaine have been discovered in the North Sea
Okay.
on these German islands.
Okay.
So there you go.
Oh, okay.
That's all it is. $1 million worth of cocaine, and I think it's Straßenwiederverkaufswert was $1 million, or maybe it's €1 million,
Wow.
which is
That's street value.
Straßenwiederverkaufswert,
Street value.
street
Sales.
resales
Yeah.
value, Straßenwiederverkaufswert. Yep, oder Straßenverkaufswert.
Again,
Yes, selling.
selling.
Verkauf is selling. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wert is value. Yeah,
Yeah. Street again selling value.
Straßenwiederverkaufswert or Straßenverkaufswert. Yeah. So anyway, they're finding square groupers everywhere. The keys are just ahead.
Those guys, those drug
Apparently.
dealers have a hard time holding on to their merch.
I don't know, they just let them wash up apparently. Or think of how much merch they have that they can just afford to
kidding.
lose 150 kilos,
Jeez.
330 pounds of cocaine, and they're probably still making profits.
Yeah.
I think it's because they don't pay taxes. I suspect,
They should think about that as a way to go after
I
them.
just think as a business model, it's very inefficient. Stop losing all your merch, guys. Jeez. The whole cocaine thing is so weird Anyway, that's it. That's
Okay.
all I had. Square groupers now, international phenomenon.
Okay.
Woo.
Good. Well, let's wrap it up there.
Wait, that's it?
Yeah.
I got nothing else?
Do you have anything else?
Yes, Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy Holidays to everyone who doesn't celebrate Christmas.
Good.
I bought a Christmas tree.
You sure did. A little tabletop Christmas tree.
From Home Depot because I said, F it.
You're allowed
I
to curse
said-
on this
I
podcast.
said it as more of a curse word.
Did you
I
say
said-
fuck it?
I did. I'm not going to let the cynicism get me down. There's something to be said for having a Christmas season and trying to still get the best of the Christmas season, which is supposed to be a season where people are nicer to each other and themselves. So I got a tree, and hopefully it's making my heart grow 3 sizes in this season.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a struggle in the Keys, as with anywhere with it's tropical and summery in the winter.
Yeah.
Since so much of our cultural Christmas lore is centered around, let's be honest, Germany and Northern Europe, where it's cold around Christmas.
Okay.
And of course, if it's not cold around Christmas, it all seems a little out of place to have,
Well, that's true.
heavily clothed Santa and reindeer.
No
You'd
reindeer
have
down
no
here.
reindeer here. You'd have manatees or something. It'd be slower and manatees.
Key deer.
And Santa would come 3 days late.
Yeah.
And that's
And
okay.
he'd skip a bunch of
He'd
houses.
skip a bunch of
Yeah.
houses, but he'd give more to some houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
I do not have the Christmas spirit in me anymore, but I deeply support you.
Yeah.
And your tree is
you gotta
cute.
Try to rekindle it a little bit.
That's great.
Yep.
I think it's great. I fully support you. I'm on board. I'm getting you presents. I don't know what yet.
Same. There's still plenty of time. Plenty
Hey,
of time.
I at least gave you a list.
I know. That's very much your family. Our family, we make everyone else guess, and then we are passive aggressive about it.
I was just like, all right, there's like 15 different camera lenses that I want. Here, you can pick one of these.
Yeah. And it's just a random assignment of, it's like,
I'm just like, look, this is the
those
stuff I want.
Yes.
You don't have to get me any of it.
Right.
There
The
is,
prices range widely. I have no idea what these things are and what they're good for or what's better or worse. I'm just like, maybe we'll get the expensive one today.
the one that I actually want is a Sony FE 200 to 600 OSS 2.8 lens. That's what I would actually like, but it's $13,000.
I have heard
It's
about
not
this
even on
one
the list.
from you.
It's not on the
in your
list.
defense, you didn't put that on the list because yes, it is a $13,000 lens, and that's a car.
If anybody's
I mean,
got a Sony E-mount 600 millimeter 2.8 lens,
oh yeah,
laying
don't throw it
around.
away. Send it to Jen.
Yeah,
Don't throw it away.
1107 Key Plaza, number 202, Key West, Florida.
Don't
33040.
don't leave it at the curb. I mean, send it to Jen.
Oh my God.
She can use it. It fits her camera.
Yeah, I would put it. You know what? Even if it's not a Sony E-mount, I'll get an adapter.
Wow, you're really accommodating
Yeah.
to this free $13,000 lens.
Professional photojournalists have them, but like their news agencies are like, here, today you may take the $13,000 lens to go shoot this sports game or whatever.
They're even insured. But
Oh,
now
yeah,
I
they are.
understand why photographers get so distraught when they get like knocked over in an NBA game, because that could be a $20,000 lens that got wrecked by, some dude's knee,
Yeah.
which is, that'd be
Yeah.
sad, even if it's not your $20,000 lens.
I know he can't finish shooting the game.
No, but generally it would just feel like that's a lot of thing.
Yeah,
to
it
get
sure
just
is a lot of
wrecked.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I didn't put that on the list.
No, I know. You're nice.
It would be fun to have one of those, though.
A bit. Oh, in better news, I did buy a lottery ticket for tonight, so it'll be all fine. Once
If we win the lottery, I'm going to buy one of those.
We win the lottery.
You know those memes going now where it's like, if I win the lottery, like, I'm not going to tell anyone, but there will be signs, ... And mine's going to be like me with this, like, big-ass lens, like, with its own monopod.
Yeah, we'll have 6 more puppies.
No more puppies. I'll pay extra money to not have any more puppies.
We'll have puppies and 3 dog sitters.
Oh, my God. I will have the lens, though. Absolutely will have the lens. You'll just see me, like, sitting out on the beach. You'll get these, like, close-ups. I'm like, all right, this iguana was 200 yards away, but here's a close-up on its eyeball.
The lens going to look like a howitzer. I mean, it's going to be 16 feet long and 400 pounds. It's going to have its own 3 tripods.
There's a camera brand.
Is it called Big Bertha? Because the biggest lens in the world.
It's a camera brand called Leica, German brand. And
of course.
They also make very good lenses.
Of course.
They have, like, in their German showroom, this lens. I want to say it's an 1800 millimeter lens. Like, you can't pick it up, right? It probably weighs like 50 pounds.
Is it a railroad lens? We have a history of railroads, putting things on railroads.
I mean, it just, like, sits on this table, and then, like, you can walk up and, like, look in the little camera that's attached to it, because it's like the same camera no matter what. So it's like tiny little camera body, and then this lens is like 3 feet long. But man, like, you can see forever with that thing.
That is pretty funny.
It's beautiful. I'll send you the reel for it.
I don't even know what the equivalent is, but it is dwarfing the camera. That is ridiculous.
The camera looks silly. Like this mess.
They should make a bigger camera with it just for looks.
It's like if you had a observatory style telescope, and then you put just a little handheld camera on the eyepiece. I'm gonna take a picture with this. Like, I don't know, it looks dumb. Man, does that work though?
It's 1800 millimeters, so that's only
so.
3 times as much as the $15,000 one.
Yeah, I don't even know what it costs.
I'm sure it's priceless. I'm sure that thing is one of those things like
they ground the lenses one time for that.
This is only for our showroom.
Yeah. To show off, right?
It comes with its own, vehicle that drives the thing around.
It kind of is like that.
It's got a tank.
That's cool.
It's on a tank.
I mean, it's like...
We put a lot of things on tanks, too.
Just like a camera nerd meme thing. Like, ooh, I went to the Leica showroom, and, like, here I am looking through the...
Pretty cool, though.
I know. The saddest part of it is, like, it's these photographers, right? And they're like, I went to Leica. Here's the whatever, 600, 1800 millimeter lens. And they show them looking through it, but they never show a picture that they took with it. I guess because, like, in a room, right? So you can't actually take a picture of anything interesting.
Like a picture of the wall.
Yeah.
But closer. But much closer.
I want the, like, 30 seconds of you looking in it, and then I want to see, like, ka-chunk, 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 like, pictures that you took with it.
I mean, I want to see the moon.
Yes.
I want to see the man in the moon. I want to see the flag that Neil Armstrong planted through that freaking lens or whatever. I want to see a container ship that's in the North Sea 600 miles away.
Exactly.
Big enough to read the license plate.
That's it.
I guess they might have lenses like that in, like, the U-2 spy plane and stuff. We're getting into those areas now with that big
You do
lens.
kind of cross into, like, telescope and, like, where does it stop being a camera lens and start being something else?
Yeah. It's like they built the A10 around that lens.
There's people who are smarter about this kind of thing
click
than I am. Okay. I think we should wrap it up there.
I know you think that. Yes, I know you do.
The nugget is acting like she maybe needs to go out, and Zola's eating avocado stuffing.
Oh, the poor avocado has had better days.
Yep.
Maybe for Christmas, Guac, you can get another one.
Get some fresh avocados.
Santa is nice to you.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for listening, and this will come out a little after we recorded it, and then you'll have to wait till I'm back from Europe, and we'll do another one.
But the breaking news will remain the same.
Yep. And until next time, Slava Ukraini, and don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
That's right. Enjoy the preview.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, the neighborhood is in trouble because somebody's doing something behind my back. I'll just make what's behind me until they try to come take it, and then I'm in court. You become who you really are.
Welcome to Unclaimed. I'm Gwen Filosa.
And I'm Jen Golbeck. Unclaimed is a podcast that will explore the fantastical life and lonely last days of Michelle Hardin, a longtime Keys resident. Her last years were marked by struggle. She lived in a house that was condemned after Hurricane Irma, without power and often without water. She was unable to access her funds and unable to accept help from the friends and neighbors who offered it to her. Her family had all died, and when she passed away in September of 2024, she died alone and her body went unclaimed. But she lived a glamorous life before that. She was an NFL and NBA cheerleader in the 1970s, came down to the Keys and was the first queen of Fantasy Fest in 1989, and wrote a social column for the local paper. She was a journalist, a talent scout, a model, and a Key West socialite who hobnobbed with some of the most prominent families in the Keys. We're going to look at all the things that she did in her life and what the path was like from this life of being connected and socially engaged to one that was lonely and isolated, and the problems that got her there. It's a story of glamour and isolation, truly a Florida Keys story, and one that we're excited for you to follow. We've almost finished recording our first episode and are doing the reporting and research for the rest of the series. So subscribe now so you get that episode as soon as it drops, and we're excited to have you join us on this journey.